books and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I'm just a girl who likes reading romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, any kind of genre of romance in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy, and it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I also hope watching my videos can make your day just a little bit brighter. Today's video is going to be my January mid-month wrap-up. I read 17 books in the first half of January. Silent Flames. I read this book because of the bestie book reviews. I don't remember the names of the couple. The heroine goes to her husband's office with her small child in tow. She catches the husband cheating on her with the secretary, and she is so shocked. And the husband's like, well, you knew about this when you signed the prenup. And she is in utter shock because she thought what they had was love. She thought it was real. And he thought their relationship was just a business arrangement. She cannot divorce him because if she divorces him, she loses her kids that was also in the prenup. They're stuck in this marriage together with her eyes wide open. Now they have to find a way to coexist and see if the heroine can forgive the hero. And a lot of stuff happened. This was wild. I gave it 5 stars. Shameless Puckboy, hockey romance about the playboy hockey player in the team and social media manager for the team has to babysit him, and I give this book 4 stars. Foolish Puckboy. It's a romance between a hockey player and a firefighter, and I give this book 4 stars. Romantic Puckboy. Bi-awakening for both of the heroes who are on the same team. 4 stars. A fan fiction called Next Chapter, and this has no cover or anything because this is a fan fiction. I got it from Archive of Our Own about Shane and Ilya. It's what happens after the long game, and Shane and Ilya are married, and Ilya is retired, and they adopt Ilya's niece from Russia, and this was really cute. I really loved it. You're not supposed to rate fan fiction, but if I could rate it, I would give it 5 stars. But I read this one because of Jen from the Book Refuge, and I loved it. I can never pronounce the title of this book, so I'll put the cover of the book up here. We're following Onyx and her sister, who are both vampires, who has been in captivity for years. Once they get out of this captivity by the mortals, Onyx reunites with her wolf protector, because in this world, vampires have protectors, and hers happens to be this wolf who thought Onyx died because she disappeared for years, but he always holds up to hope that Onyx was alive because he always felt that bond. And it's about them reuniting, and Onyx and her sister on the run from the human group that's trying to take them back. 4 stars. Breakneck hockey, hockey romance, and we're following 2 heroes who play hockey on different teams, but they both go on this hookup app, and they're supposed to meet, and lo and behold, and when they meet each other, it's the rival person from the rival team, but they decide to hook up anyway. 4 stars. Friend Zone Hockey. 2 hockey players on the same team. They're best friends, but one best friend has always been in love with the other, and when he finally confessed to him years later, he turned him down, so he moved on to someone else, and now he's engaged. It's like a second chance at a first chance. Cruel Kid about this royal family on a make-believe land who believes they're cursed. The oldest king has 3 children, 2 girls and a toddler. They watch his queen get murdered. Her airplane got blown up right in front of them. After that incident, he never lets his kids go out anywhere. He always wants them to stay in the castle where they're safe. And then we're following the heroine who is in this made up country whose father has dementia and one day gets into trouble because her father breaks into the king's mansion and the daughter begs the guard to let her father go. He didn't mean anything by it. He had dementia, so the guards allow her into the mansion, and she breaks the the statue of the hero's grandfather, and then she meets the hero's daughters, and they really take a liking to her, and the one of the maids sees that, and the heroine becomes the nanny for his children. 4 stars. It reminded me of that movie with Fran Drescher from The Nanny. And the audiobook was great. It was dual narrated by Sean Masters and Desiree Ketchum. I binged the whole Blood Alliance series by Alexi C. Foss. The first 4 books I read already, but I wanted to finish out the series, so I reread the 4 books, and so I can continue on. This world is about humans are in the bottom of the totem pole, and vampires and werewolves are no longer in hiding. They rule the world, but there is a resistance that doesn't like the way the current vampire society treats the humans. Chastely Bitten, we're following Darius, who is a high society vampire, and Juliet, who is a blood virgin, and blood virgins are humans with a special kind of blood that attracts vampires, so they are essentially trained to be submissive people to the vampires to be their blood supply. And Darius picks Juliet at an auction, and he tries to teach her how to be submissive, but makes her unlearn things she learned. And he eventually lets her in on his plan that he's part of the rebellion, and she joins him, and they start planning. 4 stars. Regally Bitten, and then we're following a vampire king named Kylan who picks Ray from an auction. Kylan is in trouble because he is charged with murdering his previous harem, and in this world, vampire kings are given harems, and he picks Ray in order to investigate what really happened to his harem because he knows he didn't kill his previous harem, and it's Ray and Kylan's romance. Kylan turns Ray into a vampire, and they become part of this secret rebellion. Or pronounce the title of the third book. I'll leave the cover of the book over here. And we're following Silas, who is one of the heroes, who is Ray's friend, and he won the cup to become a werewolf. And it's a polyamorous romance with Silas, Eden, and Luna. Eden wants to overthrow his father because he doesn't like the way his father treats the pack. And Eden is in an arranged marriage with Luna, and they both bond with Silas, and they join this rebellion. 4 stars. Oh, I forgot. I give the second book 4 stars also. Regally Bitten. And we're following the hero. I forgot his name. But he saves Willow from a pack of cruel wolves. And he captures her instead, and it's their romance. Willow is part of the friend group with Ray, Silent. In book 4, Willow also gets turned into a vampire, but she gets turned into a hybrid of a vampire and a werewolf. 5 stars. Regally Bitten, we have Jace, who is the new, one of the new kings, and his romance is like a scientist that used to work for the big bad villainess, but now that she's dead, they need the scientist. 5 stars. And we're following this vampire who has been held captive by the evil vampire queen, but now that the queen's dead, that vampire is set free, but he thinks he's also an evil vampire, and because he was brainwashed and he has no memories, and to try and save their friend, they put his mate in his proximity, trying to see if she will help him gain his memories back. 5 stars. You have to read the book to find out if the hero regains his memories. I forgot to mention the Bloodlines, the dark paranormal romance series, so please check your trigger warnings. Sticks and Stones. It's a wide choose romance hockey, and I also read this book because of the bestie book reviews, and we're following Nova, who just lost her parents in a car accident, and she's 24, and she finds out from social services that her father had an affair, and she has a baby brother. If she doesn't take the baby brother, he will go into the foster care system, and he has a heart condition, and Nova agrees to be her little brother's caretaker. But then through the adoption process, we also find out that even though the biological mom had no family, she had acquaintances that she grew up in foster care with, who also want to adopt the baby for themselves. They happen to be famous hockey players. Two of them are hockey players. One is a big, owns his own company, who's a billionaire. And Nova gets custody, and the guys like pay her to give them the baby. As she turns them down, she would never like use the baby for money. But a few days of raising this baby on her own, no Nova calls one of the guys and says, you're right, I can't do this on my own. So Nova moves in with them to help raise the baby together. And it's Nova's romance with with the two hockey players and their roommates. 4 stars. Claim of Blood. It's an romance between a vampire hunter and the first oldest vampire, and it's a forbidden romance. The hunter gets booted out from his family because of his relationship with the older vampire, and he gets welcomed into the vampire clan. 4 stars. It also turns into a polyamorous situation because they add another vampire into their relationship. Those are all the books that I read in the first half of January. Please let me know if you have read any of these books. I would love to know. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Liking this video would help me out a lot. And I'll see you Monday. Bye. Have a good weekend.